The war in Ukraine has entered a dangerous new phase, where missiles and drones no longer only seek out military targets, but aim for the very lifeblood of the nation, its energy network. In a span of just a few days, Russia unleashed a series of devastating strikes that left fuel depots, gas facilities, and power substations in flames. The result was not only immediate destruction, but also long-term damage to Ukraine's ability to fight, move, and even survive the coming winter. From geranium drones slamming into substations, to rocket artillery obliterating fuel reserves, to Kalibr and Iskander missiles reducing gas plants into fireballs, Ukraine's energy network has been turned into a battlefield of its own. Why is Russia focusing so heavily on energy now? And how does this strategy reshape the war as Ukraine struggles to defend its skies? Let's break it down. The first signs of this new Russian campaign appeared on the night of August 21st. As dusk fell over the Dnipropetrovsk region, Russian forces launched a coordinated strike with Kalibr cruise missiles and Iskander-K tactical systems. Their targets were Ukraine's gas facilities, infrastructure essential for both heating and industry. The explosions were enormous. Video released by military channels showed walls of fire consuming entire sites, with smoke rising so thick that it turned the night sky a burning orange. The effect was apocalyptic, as though dusk had returned in the middle of the night. By morning, vast quantities of stored natural gas were gone, and Ukraine's ability to supply energy to both civilians and industry suffered a significant blow. Just 4 days later, on August 25th, the destruction spread to Zaporizhzhia. Russian Vostok Group forces employed rocket artillery to annihilate a Ukrainian fuel and lubricants depot near the village of Ostrovskoye. The timing appeared deliberate, early morning, when fog covered the area. Despite the haze, footage from reconnaissance drones clearly captured the massive explosion. A plume of black smoke curled into the sky, blotting out the horizon, evidence that not just a few barrels but vast warehouses of fuel had gone up in flames. This was not simply an attack on infrastructure, it was an attack on Ukraine's mobility, its ability to fuel vehicles, armored units, and logistics convoys across the front. Then came August 27th, when Russia expanded the offensive into a sweeping drone campaign. In Konstantinovka, in the Donetsk People's Republic, geranium-loitering drones homed in on power substations and concentration points of Ukrainian forces. The impact was devastating. Transformers were reduced to wreckage, power lines collapsed, and the grid feeding both military and civilian sectors was crippled. Videos released by the Russian Ministry of Defense showed repeated strikes, each one cutting deeper into the fragile web of Ukraine's energy supply. But Konstantinovka was not alone. That same night, Russia launched a massive drone offensive across 6 Ukrainian regions: Poltava, Sumy, Chernihiv, Kharkiv, Zaporizhzhia, and Donetsk. Ukrainian air defenses claimed to shoot down 74 out of 95 drones, but 21 still broke through, hitting 9 energy facilities. The result? More than 100,000 civilians plunged into darkness, gas transport systems disrupted, and the fragile Ukrainian grid left even more exposed as the cold season approaches. In less than a week, Russia had demonstrated the full spectrum of its strike capabilities. Kalibrs and Iskanders hammering gas plants, rocket artillery blasting fuel depots, and geranium drones disabling substations. Ukraine's energy infrastructure was under siege from every angle. What do these attacks reveal about Russia's evolving strategy? The answer lies in the combination of weapons and the deliberate selection of targets. First, Russia is waging a calculated campaign to strangle Ukraine's war machine by cutting off its energy arteries. Energy is not just about heating homes. It fuels tanks, powers command centers, and drives logistics networks. By striking fuel depots, gas facilities, and power substations, Russia ensures that Ukraine's military finds itself fighting with one hand tied. The August 27th geranium strikes highlight the effectiveness of loitering munitions in targeting fragile, above-ground infrastructure. These drones are cheap, expendable, and ideal for saturating defenses. By overwhelming Ukrainian air defenses with waves of geraniums, Russia ensures that at least some drones slip through to cripple substations and transmission lines. The rocket artillery attack by the Vostok Group on August 25th deserves special attention. Rocket artillery, unlike ballistic or cruise missiles, offers a shorter range but devastatingly powerful strike option. The obliteration of the Ostrovskoye depot shows how rocket artillery can be employed for precision strikes on supply nodes close to the front. What type of artillery was used? While the footage does not confirm, possibilities include the BM-30 Smerch or the Tornado S multiple launch rocket systems. Both systems are capable of firing thermobaric and high-explosive warheads with pinpoint accuracy. The Tornado S, in particular, boasts guided rockets with ranges up to 120 kilometers, making it a likely candidate for such a strike. If indeed Tornado S was used, it suggests Russia is employing its most modern rocket artillery systems to destroy Ukraine's energy storage sites, denying them the ability to keep frontline forces moving. Meanwhile, the Kalibr and Iskander K missiles that smashed Dnipropetrovsk gas facilities on August 21st represent Russia's long-reach strike capability. Kalibrs, launched from ships and submarines, can fly hundreds of kilometers at low altitude, evading detection. Iskander K, a variant of the Iskander family, can be ground-launched and provides precision at ranges of up to 500 kilometers. By mixing drones, artillery, and missiles, Russia creates a layered attack system: cheap drones to saturate defenses, artillery for tactical strikes, and missiles for deep strike devastation. This blended approach forces Ukraine to defend everywhere at once, stretching its already limited air defenses and making every energy facility a potential target. The consequences of this energy assault are profound. First and most immediate is the impact on civilians. On August 27th alone, more than 100,000 Ukrainians lost power after substations were struck. In regions already scarred by war, the sudden absence of electricity and gas deepens the humanitarian crisis. Hospitals, water systems, and communication networks falter. With winter fast approaching, the destruction of gas facilities threatens to leave communities shivering in the cold. Second, Ukraine's energy production and distribution capacity has been severely crippled. The destruction of gas plants in Dnipropetrovsk represents not just a temporary setback, but a long-term reduction in Ukraine's ability to meet energy demand. Earlier in the year, analysts noted Ukraine's gas output had already fallen significantly. These strikes push production and supply to new lows, forcing Ukraine to rely even more heavily on Western aid and imports to keep the grid alive. Third, and perhaps most critical for the battlefield, is the impact on military logistics. The obliteration of the Ostrovskoye fuel depot directly undermines Ukraine's mechanized capabilities. Tanks, armored vehicles, and transport trucks require constant resupply of fuel. Without secure storage and distribution hubs, Ukraine's mobility on the battlefield is restricted. Counter-offensive operations become harder to sustain, and rapid redeployments risk grinding to a halt. Psychological impact is also immense. The images of cities glowing red from massive fires, of smoke clouds blackening the morning sky, reinforce a sense of vulnerability. Russia is showing not only that it can strike anywhere, but also that it can dismantle Ukraine's infrastructure faster than it can be rebuilt. This erosion of public confidence, especially ahead of winter, may weigh heavily on morale. Finally, Ukraine faces a strategic dilemma. Every energy site is now a target, yet protecting them all is impossible. Air defense systems are stretched thin, and resources must be diverted between shielding military bases, urban centers, and critical infrastructure. The cost imbalance is severe. Shooting down a $30,000 drone with a $3 million interceptor is unsustainable. Unless new layers of defense are supplied quickly, Russia's energy warfare will continue to outpace Ukraine's defenses. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.